What is up, everybody? Timberverse here today, and the topic of discussion is Xbox tax. It's just funny how people want to say, there's no Xbox tax when literally yesterday, a gaming news outlet, GamingBolt, put an article like this. Starfield could be in trouble, he says, as players' numbers plummet. They're just plummeting. Now, I mentioned this somewhat in my earlier video talking about the Xbox tax from that IGN employee, saying I wasn't there, but what is this? This dude is really complaining about a single player game losing players. This game, Starfield, has been out for almost 2 to 3 months at this point. Most single player games aren't even talked about in the media after week 2, unless they get like a DLC announcement. Or for, in this instance, like the Game Awards is popping up, people might mention those older single player games. But after week 2 to 3, they aren't even in the media anymore. Nobody's talking about those games. Like Resident Evil 4 came and went. Nobody's talking about it. They're only talking about it now because of the whole the Game of the Year awards once again. But nobody talks about these games after week 2. But it's just fascinating how these different websites have to do a Mr. Fantastic reach. The MCU really needs to study the gamer industry. So you could just really know how to stretch and reach at anything just to complain about Xbox about. But, there's no Xbox tax, right? This is so much BS. This dude has a community strike on Twitter saying Starfield is a single player game and not a live service game. So why would you expect the player count to not drop? Single player games drop over time as more new stuff comes out. This isn't a consistent online multiplayer game that you need to have high numbers. It's a single player game. So once again, this guy's just getting roasted. This website is being roasted. So rightfully deserved though. It's a single player game. What did you expect? I had so much faith in you, GamingBolt. Unfollowed by. As a single player game with New Game Plus mode still being talked about months later, while others have faded into obscurity, Starfield is doing just fine. Facts. The fact that they keep mentioning Starfield as it's been out for so long, that just shows me it's doing great. It did its job. It's been talked about. They can't help but talk about it. It's number 8 most played game still here in Australia and on Xbox, and number 10 in America, beating games like Destiny 2, FIFA. This game is still outdoing these multiplayer games. That's how amazing this game is. That's how unique this game is. It is actually outdoing multiplayer games, which is supposed to have you on constantly online. That's how no other single player game is doing this right now. A single player game plummets in numbers when they finish and move on. This is not a live service multiplayer game with battle passes and new skins every few months. If it's not a live service game, though, how is that trouble? He can't explain it. Why is the success of the Sony single-player games being reported on by concurrent player count? Apparently, I don't know if this stat is true, but apparently on Steam, Starfield has a higher peak than all these PlayStation first-party exclusives combined on Steam. So I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked by this if this is true, but yeah. Get community noted. They saw this dude was spreading so much BS, they had to give him a community note. That's just hilarious. And people say there's no Xbox tax. Nobody has any bias against Xbox, but they gotta reach to try to downplay Xbox, their games though. Community note, yeah. Like, I would have deleted this post after I got a community note at this point. Like, you're a gaming website, and Twitter has to flag your post down for misinformation, or just saying, hey, this post just doesn't make any sense. It's not a live service game. After 80 days for a single player game, still has more players than all PlayStation games combined. Yeah. But nope. They can't just say, hey, this is a great game. There's a lot of people still playing it. They just have to be negative. I guess that gets the clicks, right? Anything for clicks. They're a bummy website that nobody cares about. Perfect example of what I'm talking about. This isn't an Xbox tax. This is a headline baiting for engagement. And boy, did they get that effing engagement. It's a single player game. They tend to have a drop off after people finish playing them. Usually they surge back up when the expansion releases. Not every game is live service. Once again, calling out the Xbox tax. Can't believe numbers are dropping for this single player game. Checks note 79 days after release. Yeah, no other single player game will be talked about as much as this one, especially that amount of time after release. Definitely not happening in no other game. I love it when the world puts hate-click baseless articles in their place. Starfield hasn't even launched a new expanded or creation club / mod support yet. It's been out for 2 months. Hey, I'm still playing it. I'm still trying to master output building. What are you doing? Hating is all they're doing. It's just funny. We didn't have to wait long. Like people say, hey, there's no Xbox tax, but we gotta wait long. The media always show their ass, pretty much. They always embarrass themselves. You don't gotta wait long to prove that point that there's an Xbox tax. There's a biasness against Xbox in the media. Websites like this is just prime example. Didn't have to wait long for it. How is Starfield in trouble? It being a single player offline game? Yeah, Bethesda's just shaking their boots because the player count drops for a single player game. I'm pretty sure they're shaking about this news. This website is a clown. This is a clown website. I'm glad that everybody's just roasting this website. They definitely deserve it. I mean, if we can shame these bad games that release, we should have shamed these websites too. Like, this is just dumb. This is classic clickbait, creating a fake narrative to make it appear like doom and gloom for Starfield, a single-player game, not an ongoing live service multiplayer game, where player count means more to its lifespan. Try better to get engagement. They can't. All they can do is hit on Xbox to get engagement. It's just sad. Xbox tax, is that you? It kind of looks like it. It looks like it to me. It looks like it to me. I wish it was, but no, it's just a bad game getting bad coverage. Okay, so now Starfield is a bad game now. Okay. Once again, there's just these narratives. You can not like this game, sure, but to say this game is bad is just dumb. Like, I'm pretty sure this game is multiplayer. You play on your precious PlayStation, you wouldn't be saying it's bad, but, you know, people just saying the game is bad now. It's just fascinating. Hey, gaming bigot, or GamingBolt, how does it feel to be community noted for your obvious lie? Okay. Me pretending to be shocked that a single player game is dropping in player numbers. So I'm curious if they're gonna do this for every single player game now, because once again, what made this game different? You gotta ask yourself, what made this game different? They decided to report this about like this being negative. Like every single player game drops in player count, but you know, they just had to report on it. You just gotta ask yourself, what made this one different? Sounds a lot like Xbox tax, but you know, people saying there's no such thing, right? Absolutely insane how a single player game drops players after almost 80 days since launch. Yeah, so I'm gonna conclude it right here. Most of these comments are pretty much saying the same thing, but we kind of get the gist of it. It's like this premise of this article is so ridiculous. It's like this a common thing that happens with single player games. It's not even really shocking, but the fact that they had to point out in the article shows you the clear biasness against Xbox. This website, this person who made this article should be ashamed. And it's like, once again, people saying there's no Xbox tax. What do you call this? What do you call this then? So, definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like for this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and peace.